What's going on, everyone? This is going to be my little review on the Holley sniper intake on the 5.7 Hemis. So I've put about, I'd say 100, 150 miles on the car. So this is my little video just telling you how the install went and anything you're going to need. So starting up front here, I did mention that the throttle body gasket had some problems. I ended up just cutting some pieces off it. Cut about probably a ½ inch out of it. I was just being really careful with it, and I got it to seal up just fine. Hasn't leaked any. Here's this, I guess, breather line. You're gonna have to make some modifications. I cut it, put a smaller tube inside of it to fit on this. I cut a little bit too short. It's kind of pulling on the intake tube here. Might have to get a bigger hose, but that's not a big deal. You can do that, or that's something that I just messed up. I also mentioned you're gonna need that fuel line adapter, which shows you right there. Use this blue clip you get from the stock manifold. Just clips right on. You can take it off with a pair of screwdriver or with a screwdriver. Just push onto here, and the stock line clips right to it. Underneath, you have some holes for all these fittings, like I showed in the last video. You can see those. Anyways, so on the bottom, I'll try to put a picture up on the screen of what I was talking about. But for that, I ended up using only 2 of the lines. One was for the evap system. You can see that small black tube right there that goes behind the trans fluid. That's for the evap system. That needs a vacuum. It goes on the bottom. And then for my brakes, I think it's that line right there. The brakes gets a vacuum from the intake. So I just used what I ended up doing. It comes with 4 different size fittings. One of them is the right size for both. I believe it is this. These are what you're gonna need. I'll just show you guys right here. One of them is a 1/8 inch to 5/16 pipe to hose adapter. You're gonna need an 1/8 inch plug, as well as a 1/4 inch plug. If you're just using the stock lines, or if you're only connecting the evap system and the brakes to it, that's what you're gonna need. Also, I've noticed the intake itself is actually shorter than the stock one, so I had no worries about if it was gonna fit underneath. The thing is the actual mounting surface for the throttle body is a little bit higher up than it is on the stock one. So as you can see here, my hood is kind of up here. I don't know if you can see. It's just hitting a little bit, and as you can see, it's kind of pushing down, and it's almost making a leak from my intake tube, which isn't a big deal. I can just get a larger coupler. This is just like a cloth one. I can get probably like a 6-inch one, and it'll do just fine. Because yeah, another problem with that being up so tall, this, I don't know, I think this is an intake temp sensor maybe, but this line is like, there's a lot of tension on this line. So if I get a silicone coupler, it'll be able to make this flexible, which will take tension off of this, as well as give it some clearance for the hood. But yeah, that's about all my that's about all I gotta say for this. Again, I got this from MMX. If you guys want to do the same, I say this because MMX offers the machine surface on the bottom of the intake flanges, as well as the injector spacers needed for that, and you can see them there. The little 4 injector spacers. Besides that, the stock injectors go right in. All the gaskets fit well. You will need to, I made this mistake, you'll torque them down once, all the intake bolts, and then once the engine gets hot, you're going to have to torque them down again. I guess looking back on it, it's kind of obvious, but once the engine gets hot, the gaskets will flex a lot more. So then you just retorque them again or tighten them down more, and then because it was making a little whistling sound, it was sucking in a bunch of air from all the ports. But it didn't damage it. I only did it for a minute or two. So I got them all torqued down, took away that whistling noise, and yeah. One thing I forgot to mention, the factory map sensor, it does not fit with the provided mounting bracket thing they give you. It's just a little black piece that you could make fit if you wanted to grind some material off of it. But the way they send it, I think it might work for like a GM map sensor, but if you're using the stock map sensor, you're probably going to have to make your own little bracket, which I did with a little piece of metal and an extra screw. It didn't take long to make. Pretty simple. I'll try to put a picture up of it on the screen. As you guys can see, if I can show you it maybe. Oh no, you probably aren't going to be able to see it, but I'll put a picture on the screen, and yeah, it's a simple little fix, but that'll get your map sensor situated. There's no difference in drivability that I've noticed. It's still untuned, so I'll have to see if I assume I'll lose some torque, but maybe gain some power up top. I don't know for sure, but I'll have to get it tuned, and I'll definitely show you guys the dyno videos as well as the dyno numbers when I get this tuned, hopefully within the next week or so. But yeah, those are my plans for now. If you guys have any questions, you guys can leave them in the comments. But as for now, that should be it. Peace.